there and welcome back to another video, and if you're here for the very first time, you are very welcome. I'm Jane and my husband Mike is behind the camera. We're British, early retirees, debt and mortgage free, and living a thrifty, frugal and money-saving life on a super tight budget here in Brittany in northwest France. And every Friday we open our kitchen and share something food related with you. It could be a meal plan or meal planning, it could be a shopping haul, it could be some batch cooking, or it could be a very humble meal that we have cooked. And today it's about the most humble thing you can take out of your prepper pantry and cook with it. We British people have had this in our pantries for years and hundreds of years. It's one of those things that if you grow up and money's a bit tight and you need to put a quick meal together, it's always something that you can take out of the pantry and cook a meal with. And we in the UK cook something called corned beef hash. And there are so many different ways of doing it. I often do it in the frying pan, where I take the ingredients that you see me use and I just put them all in the frying pan and cook it till it's like crispy. And sometimes, as you see me do today, I take all the ingredients and I make it into a casserole, and I do it that way to really stretch this and take this tiny tin of corned beef and make it into a meal that feeds 4 people. Now our tins of corned beef here are about €2.70. The price has gone up, but it's still really economical. And you know, watch the video, you're gonna love this one. It's such a quick, simple, cheap and tasty meal. Enjoy it. Let's run through the ingredients to make a simple but gorgeous and really cheap corned beef hash. Let's start off with the obvious, and this is what British people and French people call corned beef. It is the beef that is cooked in the tin. It's quite extraordinarily good, and you'll see it when I open it. It's 98.7% beef. Of that would be stewing beef, that kind of beef. And the other 1% and something of it is beef heart. And if you've ever eaten beef heart, you'll know it's a really rich and tasty beef. So it's €2.89, and that will be enough for 4 people. You'll need 1 onion. I've got shallots that need using up, so I'm going to finely slice these shallots. You'll need potatoes enough to fill your dish, and you can peel them if you wish. I'm not going to peel them. I'm going to wash them and cut them into slices. You'll find people have so many different ways of making corned beef hash. Often they will make it into mashed potato. Sometimes it will be chunks. I like it to be in flat slices because they fit really nicely in the roasting dish. So that's it. You're going to need corned beef, an onion and some potatoes, and plenty of seasoning. Now I often talk about stock pots, and these are my favourite stock pots made by Law, and they come like that, and you add hot water to them and make stock. But equally, I like the Maggi ones, but I like a beef stock cube. You're then going to need some Worcestershire sauce. There it is. As much as you like. I'm going to use about a tablespoon. You're going to use 1 or 2 tablespoons of mustard. I've got some French mustard here. It's fine. And a good shake of pepper. I won't add salt to this because there's salt in the corned beef and there is salt in the stock cubes. But there we go. So I'm going to wash and slice my potatoes. I'm going to peel and slice my shallots. I will then cook my potatoes in boiling water until they are not soft, but they are just cooked. And I will slice and fry my shallots in a little bit of oil and butter. And then you'll see me cut up my corned beef and layer it all in my little roasting dish here, and how I will put it in the oven. But this will serve for 4 people, so we will have some for our dinner tonight with some beans, some runner beans and some carrots, and we'll have some again tomorrow. Whilst my potatoes and onions are cooking away, I'm just going to mix up a bit of stock here. And in here I have got 1 Knorr stock pot, a beef stock pot. It's a stock concentrate and you add water to it. I've also added in 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce and a heaped teaspoon of French mustard. Use any mustard you've got. And I'm gonna think, for the sake of people who think, how much water do I add? I think it would be about 2 cupfuls. And I was right. So 500 millilitres or half a litre. And there it is. And I will just let the stock pot melt so it's ready to add to my potatoes and my onions and my corned beef. I have my softened cooked shallots, or you'd have fried onions. I have all my cooked potatoes and I have my corned beef. It is easier to cut the corned beef if you put it in the fridge beforehand. It's August when I'm filming this and it's warm. So let's try and get everything in this pot as quickly as I can. So these are still a bit hot. So let's put a few in. A few onions. And a bit of corned beef, and 4 potatoes, my preference for this is to have more onions. Something else that you can add to this as well, if you have any leeks, you can chop up and cook some leeks in this as well. But all the corned beef just melts down when you cook it. And as I said to you, it is easier to cut up the corned beef if it is cold, which mine isn't. The rest of my onions in. I'm going to get a scraper. I don't like to waste anything. I'm not a TV chef. They leave half of it behind, I think, for timing, I assume. But seeing as this is our actual dinner, I have no intention of wasting it. And the rest of the potatoes can go on top. And then I will add the stock into this. Now this is going to go in the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes and it'll be all soft when it's all cooked. And the potatoes will be crispy on top because I'm going to put this in the oven. As I said, there are very many different ways to make corned beef hash. Lots of people do this completely in a frying pan, and it's one of those meals that is absolutely fantastic to cook if you are camping, because you'd use tin corned beef and you would use tin potatoes, and all you do is chop everything up. You can even use dried onions that you add some water to. But like I said, it's great in the frying pan, but I like this to go into the oven. I mean, you could fancy this up if you wanted to. You could add garlic to this and many other things if you wanted to. So, I'm going to carefully pour the stock into this. I would like to add that what I have added to this as well is half a teaspoon of cornflour or corn starch and some cold water just to thicken it just slightly. It is easier to do this actually if you have this in the oven and you pull the tray out and then slide it in. And there it is. And this is going to go into the oven. And here is my corned beef hash casserole. I like the way the potatoes kind of crisp up on the top. Whenever we put potatoes in layers like this, we usually call it a hot pot, and it's super. And we've got with this green beans from out the garden and carrots from the local market. And oh, if you could smell this, it's heavenly. Let's get this onto the plates. And there it is, all served up. If there was ever going to be a meal that will get you through a cost of living crisis, it's going to be a corned beef hash of some sort. So it's just basically potatoes, onions, corned beef, and some kind of stock. You can see there it is in the dish. And there's very simple vegetables with it. And that will serve 4 people because we'll have this today and we'll have it again tomorrow, just reheated. It is so cheap. It's incredibly tasty. Whenever you serve a casserole like that, it never presents well on the plate, but I can assure you it is all in the eating. Let's come back here again. Lovely steamed buttery vegetables and corned beef hash. Try it. I promise you, you'll love it. I promised something really quick, cheap and simple, and it was all of those things, and it is absolutely delicious. Stick some steamed vegetables on the side of that, or even just a tin of good old British baked beans, and it's a meal in itself. Thank you to everyone who watches our video. If you've enjoyed it today, go on, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, come on, hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell so you don't miss our videos, because we put out 3 money-saving videos every single week. We love your comments, we read every single one of them, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.